All right, so are we good to go?
Yeah, you can go.
All right, so what's up, everybody? Blood Moon Bobby back here again with my friend Ross Siev. How you doing, Ross?
I'm doing good, Bobby. I'm a bit out of it because I woke up late. I spent all night playing this game I just bought yesterday, called Baldur's Gate 3.
Which
I
I
went to
have
sleep.
heard.
Yeah, yeah. The game is addicting, and I've only just bought it, so yeah, that's why I'm like kind of out of it right now. And yeah, now I'm drinking Monsters. But
Yeah.
yeah, we can yeah. Um, so yeah, we're here to discuss about the direct that happened about 2 days ago from the time of this taping, right?
Yeah, it was on Thursday. Once again, kind of surprised, but I heard some rumors that there will be some game where it'll be like a they're bringing over some DS or Wii game, which we'll get into later on in the stream. But yeah, so I watched the direct on Thursday. Um, if I'm being honest, not the most mind blowing direct. A lot of it was either games they previously announced or they're bringing over some games to the Switch, like essentially reimaginings of games. But I would still say I was pretty excited by some of the announcements. There were one or two surprises there. So there will be games that we discussed previously, but I think they announced some more details on a couple games they talked about in the past. But we can get into that later on in the stream.
Hmm. And so what kind of games were you like kind of excited about, Bobby? Like or like before the showcase began, like what were the games that you were expecting to see? And even if it's like games you haven't like talked about, or like just games or like maybe a new console or anything.
Yeah. So I think based on the ones that they did talk about, a lot of the games are more games that I'm kind of like curious about rather than something that like I'm jumping up and down and like, really excited over. So I'm talking about games like, a Super Mario RPG, which I say that because like as I said previously, I'm not really a big JRPG person, but the kind of game that Super Mario RPG is and that it's one of those like RPGs where you really have to time your attacks and it has a really funny story. If it's anything and like I haven't like played Super Mario RPG myself, but if it's anything like Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi, then it's something that I would definitely like to give a try. It's kind of one of those games, sort of like Earthbound, where it's like it has to do something that's a little like unique for me to get interested in. And another game that they announced more details on was actually the Princess Peach game. I remember when we talked about it previously, I was kind of like, oh, okay, I hope it's not going to be as weird as Super Princess Peach. But yeah, but they announced some things about now it's called Princess Peach Showtime, where it's like maybe I could like take a look at it because we could. I imagine we'll get into this later, but there are things about the gameplay where it's like, hey, this actually looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, the Princess Peach game, like it's kind of reminds me how they approached Luigi's Mansion because like they want to make each game in the like the Mario cast like very different and unique. Like Mario, you got like sort of like a 3D platform or side scroller. Then you got Luigi's Mansion, which is basically like go around and then hunting ghosts. Then you got Captain Toad, which is just like 2D isometric, I think, like a puzzle type of game. And now you got Peach, which is a stage play, but it's it feels more like a side scroller with like a whole bunch of different gimmicks, I'd say. Probably not the best way to describe it, but that's what it kind of looks like to me. It kind of like takes like the whole stage play also reminds me of like I think it was Super Mario Brothers 2
Yeah,
or I think
definitely.
3. Yeah. And also Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door. I think that's what. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Like, oh yeah, they're going back to that concept, but like kind of doing like way more with like or just make it way more unique in a way. because like oh yeah, Peach is trapped in a theater by some sort of like bad guy that looks like it was designed in Balan Wonderworld. So yeah, I mean, well yeah, it kind of looks like it. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it looks unique and yeah, yeah, I hope to see like way more of this game. Like maybe see some raw gameplay footage just to see how like it'll turn out. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's see. They announced a lot of Mario games this direct. Well, I just showcased a lot of them. So oh yeah, how many is it? Like one. Let's see, Mario versus Donkey Kong, Peach, the Mario Kart DLC, Mario RPG. What else is coming? And oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and the Paper Mario game. That's like one, two, three, five or six, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a
Well,
few.
yeah. So they're really going all in on it. I guess like maybe thanks to the movie, like people really like hungry for more Mario content.
Hmm.
So yeah. And then wait, are all these coming out like around the holiday? No, Peach is coming out in March. Yeah.
Yes, March 2024.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So yeah, they're just really like just pumping out Mario like from the holiday to spring. Uh okay. Yeah, yeah, why not? Why not Nintendo? Keep
Yeah.
milking that brand forever, I guess. Okay. Because hey, the movie made at least like more than $1 billion, so why not?
Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
but yeah, okay. Let's see. So yeah, on that topic, Mario versus Donkey Kong. The non DLC, the first game they announced in the Direct. That's not the Splatoon 3 DLC. So you want to talk about that one, like your thoughts on it? Because it
Um,
looks like a mod to me.
Well, I have to say, it really took me back to. I think I must have been like 8 years old or something when I first saw Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I
Hmm.
remember, I can't remember which of my cousins brought it over, but I remember they were playing it. They had the Game Boy Advance version, and I still remember the cutscene where, Donkey Kong is flipping through the channels and sees like a funny banana commercial. And then he sees an ad for Mario toys, but he can't get one. So I think he goes to like this factory and like steals a bunch of them. Um, and I don't remember if I played it myself. I might have just watched my cousin play it. I think this was before I really got into portable video games, but it's certainly something I want to try. It looks more challenging than I expected,
Hmm.
like in terms of there seems to be a lot of it's kind of, like puzzles or like problem solving in that I think in each course is it that Mario has to get this key to like unlock the door, but to get it, it's you have to use like kind of like hints from the stage to figure out okay what door I have to open, what wall I have to cross in order to get it. So
Hmm.
it's the kind of game like I could see like sitting down with like my sister because like especially since like she's the one in my family who's really good at like problem solving games and like figuring out okay how do we like unlock each course. So this might actually be the first time I ever played a Mario versus Donkey Kong. It's a game that I definitely want to check out, if anything, just to have the experience.
Hmm. Yeah, seems like so yeah, the series began first on the Nintendo DS, right?
I think the Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance, because I remember it
Game
was on my
Boy.
cousin's GBA.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm looking up the gameplay footage right now of like because I never really played these type of games as one that's like I was more so into like the traditional platformer, not into like what's called like a platformer type of puzzle game in a way.
Yeah, it's not exactly easy to kind of categorize because it's like a mix of the both.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a niche, but it's also like good to have. And let's see. But yeah, just looking at the I guess is this even like a remake or just an outright new game?
It looks like a remake from what I can tell, and the fact that they're just calling it
Mhm.
Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Okay, okay. So basically, yeah, it looks like the assets are like from the not the upcoming Mario game, but like I think the latest one, the side scroller.
Yeah,
It looks like
definitely.
yeah, it looks like it's me. So of course it can save like a lot of time, money and time. Like they don't need to design like way more new levels, and
Hmm.
they don't need to make like a lot of new assets. So yeah, it's relatively cheap-ish, I guess. But hey, as the game's for a new generation, so why not? And it's also a remake, so yeah. Let's
Yeah,
see.
so it'll be like something where it's not exactly as straightforward,
Mhm.
just like copying pasting of the Game Boy Advance game. Like it looks like they at least put a little
Yeah,
more effort into it compared to when they
yeah.
brought Pikmin 1 and 2 to the Switch, where it just looked like
Mhm.
they copy and pasted from the original
Yeah.
game.
Mhm. Yeah, I expect to see like some of the same levels from the Game Boy Advance version while also yeah, just having new levels. Kind of like what they did for I think Captain Toad when they ported it from the Wii U to the Switch. They just included new levels too. So yeah, looks interesting, but not for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, puzzles aren't really like my kind of genre,
Mhm.
except for maybe like Tetris or Bust a Move Universe. But there's something about the charm of
Mhm.
it where it's like, I didn't get a chance to play this when I was a kid because I wasn't allowed to have a Game Boy Advance as a kid.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of thinking, well, this is the part of my childhood that I'll finally get to experience. So I'll check it out. Comes out February 16th, 2024. Pre-orders have gone live.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see. On that note, just rewinding way back to the beginning of the topic. Splatoon 3 expansion pass, side order DLC. Of course, you and I don't play Splatoon. Your
Nope.
sister does. Yeah.
Well, she used to. I remember she used to
Oh, she
play the
used to?
first one a lot, but she got tired of the multiplayer.
Okay. Well, this one's more of I think it's more of a campaign DLC, which I've always seen the game as like multiplayer only, but yeah, I don't really think much about the campaign. It seems more like a uh like I guess a horde challenge mode because they talk about uh hmm, yeah, maybe it is challenge mode. We just go up a tower and each floor has like different challenge rooms. Okay, yeah, that's fine for like dedicated Splatoon players. I'd probably get wrecked though. Okay, what's
Yeah,
next?
probably me too. Actually,
Prince.
Ross, let me give me a second. I gotta turn on the fan. It's
Okay,
kind of hot in here.
okay.
Okay. So fans turned on. What did you want to talk about next?
All right. After Mario vs. Donkey Kong, they also showcased a bit more of Prince of Persia. Have you ever played any of those games?
Nope.
Prince of Persia? Okay, let's move on. Horizon Chase 2, racing game, looks low budget, mobile game type from Epic Games? What?
That surprised me.
Wait, no, no. That's no. Horizon Chase 2. Let's
um.
see. Publisher, developer, Aquarius Game Studio. Publisher was on for PlayStation Vita on let's see. Publisher Play Asia published the Vita version. Oh, this game was on Apple Arcade. Okay, that makes sense.
mm,
But by Epic Games, like what? Like they, I guess so. $20. Is it really by Epic? Yeah, they published it. This game looks yeah. Hmm. Okay, I guess so. I just looked at the store page for it, and yeah, it is indeed published by Epic Games,
uh huh.
like developers of Fortnite. Okay, this it seems kind of like left field to like publish some random racing game, but okay. Let's see. Super Crazy Rhythm Castle. Looks like a top-down game was like from Konami, was heavily based around rhythms. Seems kind of like a yeah, it's a co-op top-down game was like based on music. Looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Though I'm pretty sure I need like three other friends to like play this game with. So yeah. No, good idea, but no.
Yeah, not my cup
Oh
of tea
yeah,
either.
yeah. Oh yeah. So this game, the got announced after, took me by surprise. Because I've been watching the anime and the reading the manga a lot. The Spy X Family game from Bandai Namco. Have you ever seen that anime, Bobby?
No, I actually was admittedly wasn't paying attention much when they talked about it, but what
Uh,
do you know about it?
what do I know about it? It's basically, well, the anime premise is about this spy. Well, first off, the setting is inspired by the Cold War, about like set is inspired by East and West Germany. So this one in the anime it's about like this spy who has to go to the hostile country to try to like spy on this like sort of leader, and he has to adopt a family to get closer to that leader. And unfortunately, the girl that he adopts, uh, she can read minds, but she doesn't really understand the world around her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then the spy has to keep up his cover, so he marries a woman, but unfortunately that woman is an assassin.
Yikes.
And yeah, and all three of them had to keep secrets from each other. Like they
Uh-huh.
don't know like the spy like the whole family doesn't know like each other's like their own secret like spy or like being an assassin or reading minds. Yeah. But this game, it's more so you looks like you mainly play as a girl, as a kid, and it looks more like kid friendly in a way, even though the anime itself is like a lot of murder and
Sheesh.
yeah, it's a lot. I think it's most of like maybe teenagers or like young adults, I'd say.
I see.
And then yeah, like I've seen on social media, like some people they don't like this game because they say like, oh, the anime is like for adults, but like, but then it comes out with this game that's like kind of feels like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, because
It's
from
kind
the
of
way you're describing it, it seems like the manga and anime is much different from like the game. So yeah, it's kind of confusing why they would do
yeah, but
that.
well, maybe because like they want to gear it towards like people who are fine like it's not like the anime is not really as like dark as like say Attack on Titan or something.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a lot of like comedy moments and such, which
Oh, I see.
yeah helps to alleviate. Yeah, it's it's not it feels more like a what is it called? How do I describe the tone? Something like sort of kid friendly in a way, or sort of like teen friendly. Yeah, but it's still like for everyone in some essence.
Yeah, I
Having like a
see.
kiddie game, yeah. Um, Yeah, I guess it's for like, I guess these games is for everyone, I guess. Because like maybe some people are fans of the show will want to play the game despite the age difference, but whatever. Besides, I don't really trust Bandai Namco on their anime licensed games, except for like Dragon Ball Z. But because like every other licensed games they do is like kind of feels cheap in a way.
Oh, I
But
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That looks interesting, and once the game comes out and they show like more of it, then yeah, I'll check into it. Okay.
Okay.
Super Mario RPG. What can you tell me about this, Bobby? They showed more of this game.
I mean, again, I kind of went over like what I said in the sense that I haven't played it before, but I watched
Mhm,
a YouTuber talk about like the history of the game and development and how it's the first time Mario was put in an RPG and they worked with Square. At the time they were called SquareSoft. Now it's Square Enix to make this game. And I remember
mhm,
the YouTuber saying that it's actually quite a funny game and the developers were inspired by like stand-up comedy and it's humorous. And I'm a person that finds games, especially Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. I thought that was actually a genuinely funny game. So my thinking is that if this is a game that's like a sort of predecessor of Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi, then it's one that I think I would try out, and it's a sort of RPG that I could see myself getting into more, in that the moves
mhm,
are more there's I feel like there's kind of more of a sense of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, there's kind of more a little more of a sense of a control in that you have to really time the attacks. I used to really actually stink at like those kind of like time-based attacks when I was a kid, but I think it's something that I could get used to much more nowadays. Just in the
mhm.
sense, I'm not really big into like those kind of RPGs where you can only just like select the attack, and you gotta wait for the enemy to like attack first, and then your attack, and then you gotta choose again. Like that kind of strategy, I have a really hard time figuring out. But a game like this might actually be something that I would check out myself. Have you played Super Mario RPG before?
I have the SNES Classic. I have played like maybe 5 minutes of it until I realized, like, wait a minute, all these like classic stuff, I'm like so used to like modern stuff like in RPGs that playing something classic is especially classic RPG like Mario, this doesn't feel right to me. But for
Hmm.
this one, like with a lot of it being a remake and having like maybe better controls and such, yeah, it's something I would definitely like buy at some point. Not like on release day, but maybe when Nintendo puts it up for sale for like $50 in about 5 years. And that'll be the first, that'll be the only sale like ever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the game looks interesting. Like I know about like how people like to hype it up because it was the first time that Mario ever got an RPG, especially from a developer that's known for like making that's just known for like just pumping out or just milking a lot of RPG games.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting in a way. And I do get like why people hype it up a lot. So I do want to form my own opinion on the game when it comes out at some point. Wait, when does it come out?
November 17th.
Dang that. Dang, next month? 2 months?
Yeah, like
Hmm.
almost like two months from today.
Wow. But yeah, I'll check it out when it well not when it comes out, but like yeah, soon at some point.
Yeah, I'd
But
probably get it closer to release date myself. And I do I also heard that like Mario RPG, it was kind of the first like really successful game Square
Mhm.
had in North America, because I heard before Mario RPG, it's not, I mean, they had some fans, but it's not like what it is today where like Square is a more successful company in the States. So I do, give it credit that I think because of course, at the time, a lot of Americans were familiar with Mario. I think that was like the sort of like why it was able to be like that sort of entry point and give like Square a lot of success. So I
Mhm.
respect it, and then it was the game that helped Square become a successful company in North America. But as I said, I think I would pick this game up closer to release, if anything, just to like try it out.
Mhm. Yeah. Then I should kind of look at the gameplay footage of the classic game, see how it looks like in a way, or just feels like. So let me see that. I think 12 hours of like, yeah, how long is this game anyway? Because they just show that you can go through some of the bosses again just for a
Yes,
challenge.
yes.
I wonder if there's like any more to that or like any other. reward if you beat them again. Hmm. Let's see. So for the SE for the Super Nintendo version, according to howlongtobeat.com, the main story is 17 and a half hours, and for completionist, it takes 25 and a half hours. So it's not too bad for an RPG, especially with some games nowadays, like taking up to like 100 hours or so just to beat it.
Yeah. So for me, it's a little less daunting in a way because, as you said, I feel like nowadays a lot of JRPGs, like if you really want to go through the whole story, would take like 100 or so hours to beat.
Yeah. And plus, having an RPG like this works better for the Switch because it's portable.
Yes.
So and RPGs are generally like yeah, very slow and like yeah, turn-based and all that. So you don't need like a huge long time commitment in a way. But yeah, just like pick up, play for like 5 minutes and then put it down and never play it again and all that. So
Right.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think between this and Mario versus Donkey Kong, they're really kind of bringing back some of that portable stuff, portable games, or like just having games that's like fits well for portable. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. And on that note, okay, another code recollection. This is a DS game. Okay,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
actually a combination of like a DS and a Wii game. Like the sequel is a Wii game.
okay. So wait, this is yeah, yeah. Like, let's see. Let me look up this another code game. Oh yeah, it was on the DS. Another Code to Memories 2005 game. Huh. Yeah, so like I was saying, between yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2, Detective Pikachu Returns, what else you got? Um, and Super Mario RPG and Mario vs. Donkey Kong, they're really like taking like advantage again of that portability of the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, yeah, they're making games just fits it well. So another code recollection. What is this type of game? It looks like a mystery game to me.
Looks like a mystery and a puzzle game. When I first heard of
Yeah.
it, I heard some people like say it's like a point and click game, but it looks kind of
Mhm.
more like, what I would consider like a puzzle adventure game in that there's like a
Mhm.
story going on and and they show gameplay footage of like you have to build this bridge. What's the other thing they showed? And then there's like you have to figure out this combination to unlock a door. So it's I remember my sister asked me, is it kind of like Professor Layton? And the overall feel is like different to me from like what I've seen of Professor
Mhm.
Layton, but in terms of like if you like those sort of complicated puzzles, it's probably, up your alley. Like that kind of a game.
Yeah. The Professor Layton games feel more like puzzles that you would find in the newspaper or like on some random mini clips website in a
Yeah.
way. Well, like yeah, better, smarter designed. Um, this game it's not really like Professor Layton. More like you, how to explain it? It's more like going around in the environment and solving certain puzzles that you find in the environment. Kind of like a maybe like Myst, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't play Myst, but let's see. So yeah, this remake is also kind of like feels like left field because let's see. The game got mixed according to Wikipedia. For the DS version, the game got mixed reviews from critics that even though they liked the story and the controls and the hand-drawn artwork, they don't like the short lengths, the unoriginal puzzles, and the game being for a younger audience.
Hmm.
But okay. I don't know about the younger audience part, but yeah, it feels like yeah, just by looking at it, I thought it would be like a rated T for teen game.
Mm-hmm.
With like yeah, because it has a ghost and maybe there might be murder or something. But no, it's like for kids, which and with an art style that doesn't really or like a direction or the tone doesn't feel like it's for kids, you know? I don't know how to explain it, but it's like looking at a Mario game and think like, oh yeah, that's for kids. And this one is like you look at this game, an anime game, then you think like, oh yeah, this is for like teenagers to adults.
Yeah, that's what
So
I thought too. I was kind of surprised you mentioned that.
yeah. So I'm not gonna look up the DS footage. Um, but it's nice that they provided cutscenes for it. Okay,
Yeah.
the next game they announced after is Princess Peach. We already talked about that. Okay, after that is Saga Emerald Playground. I think this is from Square Enix. Is it? And Saga begins, blah blah. Yeah, it's more RPG stuff, turn based. Yeah, Square Enix. Okay. Okay. You want to you have anything to say about that, Bobby? About Saga Emerald Beyond? No? Okay,
Nope,
let's
I
move on.
wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so this one took me by surprise, the next game, because I grew up playing the game like I was about ah when did this game come out? Yeah, I was about like 5 or 6 years old when I first played this game. Um, Tomb Raider 1. Tomb Raider on the that was on PlayStation 1. That was like maybe one of my first games,
Yeah.
sort of like maybe one of my first console games. Though I was more of a Nintendo 64 guy. Like Tomb Raider, I could never like properly play it because I was more into like Mario and such that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I've definitely played like a lot of Tomb Raider and such. I still remember some of the gameplay that I went through the I think first or second game. But yeah, I played like a lot of this series like way back in the day when I was like 5. So having a remaster of like 1 through 3, it's pretty surprising. Um, even though like yeah, you can switch between like the remaster and the classic version, just like instantly, kind of like a Halo Master Chief Collection, or like Halo 1 and 2. Um, so have you played Tomb Raider, Bobby?
No, never played a
No?
single one.
Ah, okay. That's fine. But yeah, I did try to play Tomb Raider again. Like I have it on Steam. I tried playing again, and the controls like are just it feels like how do I explain it? I got so used to like controls like Uncharted or like the Tomb Raider reboots. So playing on a classic controls again is just like it doesn't feel right to me.
I see.
But yeah. So yeah, the game is available for pre-order right now. And even though they announced it through Nintendo, it's also on Steam for $27. It's on sale right now. It's coming out on February 14th, which is I think Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Yeah, and also Lara Croft's birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of a sort of fitting holiday to put it in because a lot of people like it in a way.
Gee,
So
I
yeah,
wonder why.
yeah, I wonder why. Yeah. All right, the next game. More of Detective Pikachu returns. Okay, so what do you make of this, Bobby? Detective Pikachu 2.
I mean, again, not much to say when it comes to Detective Pikachu. I like the movie, but the games aren't really up my alley.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said before, I feel like they made this game just to like sell the rights again to Legendary to make a movie sequel.
Which that I would
Like
really
like
like.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what it feels like because I feel like maybe the first game either didn't sell a lot or maybe it wasn't as like it doesn't feel like warrant it doesn't warrant a sequel in a way. Like that's what it feels like to me.
Hmm.
But um, did he even remaster or bring in the 3DS game to the Switch?
I'm not
Did he?
sure. I could look that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up too because they should have when the movie came out, but oh, my internet's slow. Let's see.
Hmm. I just see Detective Pikachu Returns on the Switch eShop.
Okay, so yeah, that seems like a huge missed opportunity right there.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Especially if the original Detective Pikachu didn't sell as well as Nintendo wanted it to.
yeah, well, like I said, it does feel like they made the sequel for the game just to like just for the movie, just like sell the rights again, sell the story rights and all that because the movie was kind of profitable. It would have made more money if I think did the movie release close to Avengers Endgame?
I can't remember.
Or I think Infinity War. So yeah, like the movie, I thought because it's like the very first live action Pokemon movie
Yes.
or an actual Pokemon movie that isn't like Pokemon the first movie or Pokemon 2000. Like a Pokemon movie, an actual Pokemon movie in theaters. Like yeah, compared to like Mario made 1 billion. I think Detective Pikachu live action made like 400 million, I think.
Yeah, much less in
Um,
comparison.
yeah, which is kind of a shame to be honest, because I personally think that Detective Pikachu was like a way better movie than Mario.
Yeah, it was more of
Sorry
a
to any
more
Mario fans, but
mysterious, whereas
yeah.
Mario's, even though I enjoyed the movie, when you get down to it, it's essentially, your basic bad guy versus good guy story.
Mhm. Yeah. And then yeah, for Detective Pikachu, there's actually like a hook, like a it feels like there's a like the plot feels like there's actually a lot more stuff going on in it
Yeah.
than with Mario in a way, yeah. But Mario's like easier for kids to like absorb, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Easier for them to understand, yeah. So yeah, like it does like I said before, it does make me wonder like why Detective Pikachu? Like why make a movie out of that game? Because I'm pretty sure like the Pokemon company has been approached by like so many studios to make like movies or like live action TV shows based on the anime
Uh
or
huh.
just based on the games. Yeah, based on the traditional games, yeah. But yeah, like have you also heard about this upcoming live action Pokemon show from Japan?
No, this is my first time
It's,
hearing about that.
yeah, it's not a traditional it's not like the anime story in a way. I think it's more like uh, yeah, the news article about it came out like yesterday or 2 days ago. Let's see. Pokemon live action Frozen Pockets was eventually released its first poster of the series. Um, so yeah, it's mainly like from a Japanese TV company. Um, what's it called? Filia Pockets was Adventure. That's what the show is called. It's
Okay, I
very
guess the name doesn't
yeah.
translate well.
You're gonna just call it Pocket Monsters or like okay. See, what is this show about? I'm trying to find it. They just only showed the poster for it. So, oh yeah, here we go. Um, it's more of a slice of life drama, inspired by like Pokemon. It's po that's about like Pokemon inspired life lessons. So there's no
Okay.
so so there's no so it's mainly like uh there's no Pokemon in it. It's not set in that Pokemon world. It seems more like it's based on like the video game. Like like a character, like the picture the showcasing. She's holding the yellow Game Boy Color. I'm guessing that yeah, I'm guessing it's based around like taking life lessons from like the video game. Like it's set in the real world, but okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm
yeah,
getting
okay.
really confused.
Yeah. Yeah. You can it's just I don't know about a TV show. I'm guessing they can't like make an actual show based on Pokemon because that would require so much CGI budget.
Right, yeah.
Like you got to get the HBO money. You got to get like Game of Thrones money.
Yeah, Last of Us money, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. So a small Japanese TV studio making a Pokemon show. Yeah, no, it won't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what's the next game they announced? Trombone Champ.
Which, yeah, I've heard of. My sister has shown me like other like streamers playing it. Like the other day, she showed me like Markiplier playing it. I'm very tempted. Like when my sister goes on her holiday break, I'm really tempted
Mhm,
to do a stream. That game looks pretty funny. Like she showed me like streamers playing things like the American national anthem or the Canadian national anthem or
mhm,
Flight of the Bumblebee. And from the trailer, it's one of those games where like I asked her, is this basically like the antithesis to Rhythm Heaven, where in Rhythm Heaven, like it matters a lot that you understand the beats of the music and that kind of stuff.
mhm,
Whereas this game, it's like you could be as like bad as you want. That's the whole idea. Literally, just
mhm.
have fun with it. So if that's the kind of game Trombone Champ is, I'd love to do a stream with that. I'm pretty sure my sister would like to do a stream of that game at some point. So yeah.
Yeah, the game just came out anyway, and it does look very silly in a way too. It's like the way the character moves, and also like how some of the notes like it goes up and down like really fast, so you have to like
Yes.
really try to keep up. So yeah, it looks pretty funny. Yeah. Um, how much does the game cost, by the way? Trombone
15
Champ.
on the eShop. It's out right now on Switch.
Oh yeah, it's not too bad. And what the heck is on Steam?
Because I think it came out on like PC first. I don't know about Steam, but my sister told me it came out on like PC, of course, before the Switch.
Yeah, it came out. Yeah, I'm looking at the Steam page right now. It came out last year on September 15, 2022. And it has like overwhelmingly positive reviews, like 6,800 reviews, which is
Mm-hmm.
not too bad considering this type of game. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Though I think like on one hand, this game you can like put mods in it on PC and on the Switch. Switch is a bit better because like you get to use the Joy-Con and it feels like more what's it called? What's that wood called?
It's
You
more
you feel
precise.
like you no not just that but also feel like you're more sucked into like trying to get the notes down in a way. Yeah, absolutely zero microtransactions. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's see what some of the reviews said. Nope. I am a classically trained trombonist, both tenor and bass, with 27 years of experience. I've had the great privilege to play in wind ensembles and philharmonic orchestras. They have performed pieces containing many of the most famous and recognizable trombone excerpts and solos. Works by composers such as Shostakovich, Rimsky-Korsakov, Bernstein, Copland, blah, 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 blah. You must believe me when I tell you this is not just a rhythm game, this is a simulation. All the countless hours spent on practice lessons, sectionals, and rehearsals were made redundant with Trombone Champ. It's real, all of it. The
uh,
strobe lights, the unintentional glass glissandi, the conductor's disapproving gaze, implied by default, the raucous applause, the thinly veiled antagonism of all other instruments, the baboons, especially the baboons. However, for all of Trombone Champ's incredible attention to detail and commitment to the accuracy of the trombone experience, it unfortunately lacks a way to train the user in the most important trombone skill of all, Practice over thousands of rehearsals, sitting and listening to the strings, horns, woodwinds, and percussion play while you don't, counting tacit bars correctly before your next entrance. They, if they can somehow add that in, the simulation would truly be complete. That's a review on Steam. So
Okay.
yeah, I guess that guy was making a joke, saying
Yeah,
like
it sounds
this
like a
is a
joke, just
true.
somebody goofing around in Steam's review section.
And the review below that says this game blows.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Okay, let's move on. All right. So they announced after that game, Battle Crush, top-down MOBA type of game. You play MOBAs, Bobby?
Nope.
All right, let's move on. War Tales from Shiro Games. Sort of a what CRPG or Western RPG in a way, was like set in what appears to be like medieval England, I guess, or just in medieval times. Oh, and there's online multiplayer too. That's not too bad. War Tales. Is that also on Steam? Some of these games, I'm gonna look it up if it's on Steam now. Like maybe if it's already out or is it still coming? Yeah, it's on Steam. $35 came out in April. Hmm. So this is just a port. And how many reviews it's got? 17,733 reviews. Very positive on Steam. Okay, why not?
Hmm.
Let's move on. I
Yeah.
got nothing to say about that. All right, Contra Open Galuga. Huh. I thought Konami wasn't making any more games.
I guess they're bouncing back.
And also like this Contra, like you know the other Contra game, right? Like before this announcement, the other Contra game that has like a panda in it. And
Yeah, well,
it came in like directly after Konami said that they don't want to make any more games. They just want to
mm-hmm.
focus on gambling.
Yeah, pachinko
And
machines.
yeah. So oh yeah. Contra Road Corps. That was the previous game. And that game got like reviewed so poorly.
Yeah, I heard it's terrible.
Yeah. Because like I think it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive, but like just looking at the gameplay, I'm looking at it right now on YouTube. It looks so generic and like it looks like one of those like shovelware games from like some no-name studio that's like for the Wii or something. So yeah. So this new country game they announced, it looks more like a return to form for them, for the brand in particular. Because it's
Oh
like
yeah.
all side scroller, it all feels like the classic Contra, but
Uh-huh.
like just using 3D assets and the animations looks very in a way it looks very like cheap or like classic. It looks I don't know how to describe it. Like just even the backgrounds or like just the general character animations. Yeah, it just all looks very classic in a way, which
Uh-huh.
is kind of good, but also kind of like
It doesn't really
meh.
feel like it's like reinventing itself.
Yeah, and well, the graphics just doesn't look that amazing in a way. Like I feel like the art direction, yeah, that's what I mean. The art direction. Like they just focus on 3D assets, but while being a side scroller and trying to like recapture that feel of the classic game.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like compared to say the upcoming Sonic game that's like side scroller to Contra, yeah, it just doesn't look as good or just doesn't feel as right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I see.
Okay, yeah, let's move on. So you played the Contra before or no?
A while ago, I remember I downloaded Contra 3 onto my Wii back when the Virtual Console was out,
Mhm.
and I had a pretty good time with it. Although, as somebody who was born in like the Nintendo 64 generation, the controls were kind of hard for me to get used to. I don't know if I would try this new Contra game. I imagine though, like fans like from like the NES and Super Nintendo generation might check it out. I'm not
Mhm.
sure about myself though. Like when it comes to Konami, the next Konami game I want to get is the Metal Gear Solid collection that's coming to Switch.
Yeah, I should get that too on PC. When is that coming out? Because I expected to like for them to at least like talk more about it in the direct. I guess they didn't. Oh yeah, this game comes out on October 24th.
Contra?
No, the Master Collection
Oh,
for Metal
okay.
Gear Solid. Yeah. Um, yeah. Okay. Okay. So the next game after Contra was another RPG. This time from Atlas. Looks more kind of reminds me of like Square Enix's what's it called? Triangle Strategy, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Would he
that's
use
the
like
name.
yeah, would he use like 2D artwork and then use yeah, just focus on that and then how do I describe it? Yeah, just the way the art direction is for this game. Which okay. Yeah, I don't play RPGs that much. Um, let's move on. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Okay. Um, so wait, was the second game called Dark Moon?
Yeah,
Like, did
I
they call
have
it?
it for 3DS. It was called
Okay,
Dark
so
Moon. In some
so
parts
they
of the
don't.
world, it was called Luigi's Mansion 2, but in North America, they called it Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
That was a mistake in hindsight for them. Um, yeah, I didn't play the second. Wait. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did play the second game. Yeah, I have one on my 3DS, though I haven't really finished it. Uh, yeah, they call it HD because it looks more like a remaster. Yeah, than an actual like remake or something. Compared to,
Yeah, they probably just ported like, took the 3DS game and like
mhm.
enhanced the visuals for Switch.
Yeah, like compared to the third game, which looks obviously way better. Yeah, this one is more like a remaster, which it's fine. It's like giving games another chance, for like people who haven't played it.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, if anything, I really wish they would have actually ported both the first and second game. Like that's really my big criticism of it because I remember playing the second game on 3DS. Didn't finish
mhm,
it, but I think I had a good time. But I really wish they would port the first game to Switch, especially because like I heard the first Luigi's Mansion for a video game isn't super long. So it's the kind of
mhm,
game where, like Pikmin, I would kind of like to have that experience where, like, my sister and I could beat it. We didn't even get to play one of the bosses I've heard in Luigi's Mansion 2 is this scary baby named Chauncey, and I remember hearing about Chauncey when I was in high school, and I didn't, get that like opportunity to get my GameCube out, like to try to beat Chauncey. So I would
mhm,
feel more happy about this announcement if they pulled a Pikmin where they bring both games to Switch, not just bring the second one. So I'm not sure what's up with that, especially because they did port the first game to 3DS. So I don't know. I mean, I guess unless they port the first game to Switch, I'll just have to go get my GameCube to beat
mhm,
Chauncey.
mhm. Yeah, like yeah, they did port the game to the 3DS, but like if the second game is on 3DS and they ported it to the Switch, then why not just also port the first game? Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
I guess
mean,
Nintendo just does not like money
yeah.
or
Granted, they
something.
did say that the port of the second game is coming in summer 2024, so who knows, maybe by then they I mean, I'd like to imagine that they could announce that we'll bring both the original Luigi's Mansion games, but as somebody who doesn't work for Nintendo, I don't know for sure. It's just something that I hope for.
Hmm. So, yeah, I think the second game, like, it wasn't as because I see online like some people just don't like it compared to the third game or the first game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like but the reviews seem good, and they also looking on Wikipedia, they also ported the second game to arcade cabinets.
Oh wow.
Capcom helped out. Yeah, Capcom helped out in it. Capcom and Sega. So, and they call it Luigi's Mansion Arcade. I should look that up.
Oh,
So,
I
so
wish that
yeah,
was the kind of
why,
arcade game I could play around here.
yeah, why the second game? Why not the first game? Let's see. So it's more like a sort of first person type of game, which, yeah, obviously for arcade. Um, but yeah, it looks like the assets are from the 3DS game. They just like updated visuals a little bit or just remastered it. Um, yeah, just it's basically just a first person game, lasting for about like 40 minutes.
I see.
Makes sense for an arcade, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay, what else they announced? Nintendo Museum in Japan, and it'll be done in spring 2024.
Yeah.
I
Um.
do, yeah, it's like I do want to visit Japan just for like to go to the Studio Ghibli Museum, and now I want to go there for the Nintendo Museum, even because it sounds really because yeah, I do want to see like the history of it, which I could go to the Nintendo store in New York City, but which is sort of a museum in itself. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping
Yeah.
to see like what they'll have in there too. Like what sort of like historical stuff they'll have, like any sort of like maybe I don't know, merchandise or something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to visit that
Uh,
museum, Bobby? Like,
I mean, as somebody that spends a lot of time learning about, Nintendo's like origins, even going back to the late 19th century, it's something that, if I
yeah,
was visiting Japan, certainly Kyoto, I would like to visit
mhm,
myself. So yeah.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Not much. They didn't say much about it other than the having a museum and it's coming in spring. Okay. Let's see what else they announced. Um, the Amiibo figures for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I still need to get that game. I haven't gotten it yet because I know it'll require a really long time commitment. Breath of the Wild took me. Breath of the Wild, like I binged on Breath of the Wild. I did all of the dungeons. That game took me like an entire month just to like beat it.
Whoa, okay.
So yeah, because like I had to juggle college and like playing Breath of the Wild a lot. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
So Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, more amiibo figures for this time to showcase Zelda and Ganondorf. I'm pretty sure Ganondorf will be very popular with certain people.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. I think the amiibos for Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know what rewards to give out. Like I know they give out like a paraglider skin, but what about like do they give out anything else for the Zelda amiibos? Let's see. So yeah, they give out paraglider skins and what else? Oh yeah, they also give out like armor and such or weapons. Okay, so yeah, it's fine for collectors. Do you play Zelda, Bobby? Do you play the new game yet?
I mean, as I always say, in Q&As, I don't think people would want to see me play a Zelda game. I can't figure the puzzles out.
Okay. I mean, you could just look it up online, like what I usually do.
I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Okay. After that, they also announced an amiibos for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I've not played that game yet.
Nope, neither have
I
I.
sort of want to, but yeah. Okay. And then finally, they announced the final amiibo for Super Smash Brothers, Sora,
Uh-huh.
which, yep, why not? Why not get a collectible of Sora? Yeah, I feel like these amiibos, like they're really it's not as big as it used to be because yeah, especially the Wii U days where Nintendo put like a lot of amiibo support for like a lot of games. Now it
Yeah.
just seems like now it seems like they don't really do much with them. No, it's kind of a shame.
Yeah, I
Like one
wonder if that's because like, the Wii U days were like tough times for Nintendo, so they put the
Mhm.
amiibos out there to make up for its struggling sales, but because in
Yeah,
comparison the Switch is a far more successful console, maybe that's
yeah.
why.
But yeah, one of the faults I give to Amiibos is like how they're essentially treated as like exclusive DLC for certain games. Like for Mario Kart 8, you can
Uh-huh.
only get like certain cosmetics if you buy like a specific character Amiibo. So like I would rather have like maybe there's no like proper good way to like utilize Amiibo, like exclusive DLC or shortcut DLC or like cheat codes. Like you scan a Mario Amiibo in what's it called? Super Mario Odyssey, and you get like more hearts or like more coins or more lives, which
Uh-huh.
is basically a cheat code. But yeah. So yeah, I guess like people saw the gimmick for Amiibos and like maybe just buy less of them. Plus they also upped the price of Amiibos too, which why not? But also like they upgraded the overall quality of them too. So I guess it works out. I guess it's all balanced in some way. But
Yeah.
okay. All right. So the next game they announced, um, which like have you ever played Tetris 99 or Pac-Man 99
No,
or
but I have a
any of
feeling
those
what you're going to
battle
talk
royales?
about next.
Yeah. So yeah, they announced F-Zero 99, a new like take on like another they used another classic game and just like turn a battle royale out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks way more interesting than like Pac-Man and Tetris. This one, wait, did they even make Tetris? I'm just talking out my butt. Oh yeah, they did make Tetris 99. Okay. So yeah, F-Zero 99. Let's see, you get to unlock more cosmetics and it's exclusive for Nintendo Switch Online players. But you also have a health meter, and if you crash too much, you're out of the race.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
just like old school F-Zero.
Yeah. So it looks interesting, though. Yeah, I can see why they would generally like put up these type of games for like is it like do they put these type of games up for a year or something or like for 2 years?
I think it's like I know it's temporary in some fashion.
Yeah, how long was Pac-Man 99 up? So Pac-Man 99 came up in April 7, 2021,
Hmm.
and then it's now scheduled to shut down on October 8th, like later this year. So about like maybe like 3 weeks from now. Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, basically sort of 2 years or so. And how long was Tetris 99 up? All right, Tetris 99 was up for came out in 2019, and let's see, when did it shut down? Wait, is it still up? Uh, huh. They didn't like, yeah, I'm looking on Wikipedia. They didn't like say that it shut down yet. I guess only Pac-Man is shutting down. Okay. I guess they want to make way for F-Zero.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Yeah. Are you gonna play that game, Bobby?
I don't
F-Zero
know. As
99?
somebody that's like not very good at F-Zero, when I looked at like the trailer for F-Zero 99, I was like, I already lost the game and I didn't even play it just because even
Yeah.
just the regular F-Zero, because that game like the way it works and how there's the health meter and how if you get hit too many times you're out of the race and your car is destroyed. I don't know.
Mhm.
I know there's a way around that in F-Zero 99 where you get this power up and you'll literally like cruise through everybody else and you won't get hit. So I
Mhm.
guess that's the key to winning
Mhm.
horses in F-Zero 99. But as for
Yeah.
me, I'm just waiting for another. Like, I really wish they would make like an F-Zero a sequel. I'm guessing they made this as a sort of kind of, I mean, I hate to use this word, but kind of a compromise where it's like it's not exactly a full-on new F-Zero game, but it is a new experience where there's now like literally up to 99 competitors. So
Mhm.
I kind of wonder if Nintendo is looking at this thinking, and they're going to use it as a sort of testing ground where it's like depending on how successful it is, then they'll see if they could make like a new F-Zero. Like I think it would be cool if on, yeah, on the Switch's successor, if they could even make like an F-Zero game as like a launch title. I think that would make like a really cool launch title. It's just as for me, when it comes to F-Zero, I'm much better at F-Zero X, the Nintendo
Mhm.
64 game, but I would like to see them team up with like a company like, say one of the Need for Speed developers, which I know that sounds very, that doesn't sound like Nintendo to do that, but maybe like a Monster Games, the company that made Excite Truck, if they could team up with one of those and make a new F-Zero, I think that would be really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah. I don't know if the Nintendo wants to make an actual new racing game, like based on F-Zero, because I feel like they want to have the system be diverse in a way, or like have diverse sort of game modes. So, and Mario Kart 8 for Nintendo Switch is like, I think it's one of the top selling games on the Switch.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
yeah, I think it is the number one top selling, or is it like been taken over by Zelda?
I'm
Let's
not sure.
see.
I just know that I know even to this day it's still one of the top selling Switch games.
Oh, here we go. Best video games on Nintendo Switch. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Copies sold 55.46 million as of June 30th, 2023,
I
according
see.
to Wikipedia. So yeah, I'm guessing they also count for the bundles too, because they bundled that with like a lot of Nintendo Switch consoles anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's why we're not getting an actual new F-Zero game. Okay.
Yeah, which is too bad.
Yeah, sucks, but oh well. I guess Mario has like way more appeal than like some Captain Falcon, I guess.
Yeah, I mean Mario is at a point where like even like my parents know who Mario is,
Mhm.
but I don't think they've ever heard of Captain Falcon. So it's like when you get to that point where it's like even like your parents know who the character is, that in itself is like a whole other sort of measure to me.
I mean, to be honest, certain people have heard of Captain Falcon, including Barack Obama, who picked Captain Falcon in Super Smash Brothers when some guy did a Make-A-Wish program.
Oh,
Like
wow.
yeah, I'm not even joking. The guy like he was dying and he did make a wish, and then he wished to play Smash Brothers with Obama. And
Uh-huh.
Obama chose Captain Falcon.
All right.
So yeah, I'm not joking. You can look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Obama Captain Falcon. Yeah. Former President Barack Obama is a Captain Falcon main in Smash Brothers.
I mean, I'm not laughing because I don't believe you. It's just like, oh my god, that actually happened.
And the guy, no, yeah, the guy who played Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64 was Obama, and Obama signed the N64 cartridge, which, okay. I mean,
Okay.
Obama didn't make the game, but okay. Why not? All right, let's move on. Okay, this one I sort of want to talk about, like just in particular, not the specific game, but like like just the idea of it. So, Band Tale, a League of Legends story. Um, sort of this looks like a Stardew Valley inspired type of game. Um, Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing, whatever. But you ever played League of Legends, Bobby, or do you value your mental health that much?
Well, the last League of Legends thing, or remotely League of Legends thing I've done was watch Arcane on Netflix. Like,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
my friend had me watch the entire show.
Okay, good. That means you should never ever play League of Legends because if you value your mental health that much, yeah, don't. But yeah, this game looks. I'm not big into Stardew Valley that much. Though I've been playing like Disney Dreamlight Valley a lot. Um, But let's see, Bandle and let's see. Oh yeah, the game after that they also announced or talked about it more. Song of Nunu, which is so yeah, they have like back to back like two wildly different games. Song of Nunu is like a platformer in a way, and Bandle is more of a Stardew Valley type of game, but both under the League of Legends brand, which yeah, I don't mind. Actually, I kind of encourage it because like you don't want you're like yeah, like League of Legends. Like I don't play that game. Only watch like Arcane, but I kind of appreciate like what Riot Games is doing with the brand, like just taking these characters that people like and just making like a whole bunch of like and just partnering up with like these different studios, these different like maybe lower budgeted studios, and just using the characters and making like a wildly different game out of it. Um, so like say I don't know a big game like let's say Overwatch or what's that game? Maybe Fortnite, I guess. Um, like or Dota 2, where they don't really want to make like a diverse game. They just do like the same thing. But eventually, like League of Legends MOBA, it's not really dying out, but it's not as big as it used to be. So it's better to like take the brand and then just like do other stuff with it. So to get people like because not everyone is into MOBAs, but um letting other people like just because yeah, some people they play games just because they like the characters of the world. So yeah, why not? Why not make a like a different type of game using those characters? So yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
I see.
So it's interesting. I probably might play Song of Nunu because I'm into like that type of platforming. It looks interesting to me, but yeah, yeah. All right. Are you like into any of these games, Bobby? Like a Bandle Tale or Song of Nunu? Or no?
Nope. I mean, like I
Okay.
said, even when I watched Arcane, it was just the kind of thing like I watched because my friend wanted me to see it, but I
Yeah.
didn't really get into League of Legends fandom after I watched the show.
Mhm. Yeah. All right, let's move on to something that both of us might want to talk about. Wario Rail Move It.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
there you go. Okay, okay. Yeah. Man, I missed Wario Rail.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing you're making more of it. So let's see. So what do you think of the game, Bobby? I'll let you handle this one.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but it really does remind me a lot of WarioWare Smooth Moves. So, was that the one you played?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because,
been
like,
a while
I
though,
have
so
so many good memories of that game, and, like, my family members used to enjoy watching me and my sister play it. I remember my aunt from Chicago, who, if you're listening to this podcast, hello there. Even, like, she came over to California and played, like, there's a game where you have to, like, balance, like, the broom, and that's, like, the first time a family member, like, especially, like, an aunt or an uncle was like, hey, I want to, like, play, at least a little of this game, so. I mean, yeah, but yeah, this Move It really does. It reminds me so much of Smooth Moves. The way you select levels with the map, with the
mhm.
characters' faces is very much like Smooth Moves. And they're also gonna have like all the different forms. Like I remember they have like one where like you pretend to be a chicken, and there's another one called Fashionista and the hand model. They're not the exact same forms from Smooth Moves, but it's a nice like kind of like update. So I really think that's what the developer is really going after because
Mhm.
they're like, oh, lots of people love Smooth Moves. Like even today, if you go look up Smooth Moves like gameplay on YouTube, there's lots of people saying they're nostalgic over it. And I think like some of the new stuff is cool too. Like they showed a game where you have to like draw like hand gestures in front of like the IR camera on the right Switch Joy-Con. So I do like how you mentioned how like some games that we talked about in this stream
Yeah,
today
yeah.
don't really feel like they're reinventing themselves that much, whereas
Mhm.
Move It, it seems like a nice, like a sort of spiritual sequel to Smooth Moves. So, yeah, I mean, as somebody that doesn't really play a lot of like Nintendo's motion games anymore,
Hmm.
Move It, maybe along with Switch Sports, might be like one of those games where I don't really mind like getting up off the couch to play. Just because like if it's gonna be like Smooth Moves, I'd really love to do a stream of it at some point.
Hmm. So, bless you.
Excuse me.
Okay. So game comes out and let's see. Oh, there's online multiplayer too. Wait, is it online or just only like full player co-op?
I'm
Uh,
guessing it's like a four-player co-op.
okay, so it's not online. Okay, that's fine. So it's coming out. Hmm. So it's coming out November 3rd. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait for it. All right. Let's see what else they announced after that. Another JRPG. Wait, JRPG, RPG. There was this game developer who said that calling RPG, like calling Japanese RPGs or RPGs made in Japan, like JRPGs, calling it that is he said I forgot I forgot what exactly he called it on. It's either like he called it offensive or something. Like, do you agree with that? Like people calling RPGs made in Japan like JRPGs? Do you agree with that, or do you like disagree?
I mean,
What do
I
you think?
always thought that's just like a term like that's just thrown around to sort of like indicate, oh, it's from Japan, or it's that kind of like style where it has like all like those like sort of archetypes like Fire Emblem. That's the first time I've heard somebody
Yeah,
describe it as offensive.
yeah. But in another fashion, it's like calling like why not also like put the other games like oh like Metal Gear Solid? Why not just call Metal Gear Solid J J Action or something, a J Shooter?
I mean, to me, it's
Or like
kind of like when
call
people talk about like Japanese pop music and they call it like J-pop, or like
yeah
Korean pop music is called K-pop. Like to me, that's what it sounds like to
or
me.
or why not people call Resident Evil J Horror or something? But yeah, I kind of see that he has a point, but also JRPGs are so uniquely defined by like the story, the art direction, and even the gameplay design. Like when you look at like Western developers, like when they make an RPG, the RPGs are like also unique for them. Like
Yeah.
yeah. But also for Western developers, why not just call them WRPGs or something? Or like Eastern European RPGs or American RPGs. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's kind of like a mixed topic, mixed bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that was Euden Chronicle 100 Heroes. We didn't even talk about that. We just talked about JRPGs in the general. Let's see. Eastwood, Octopia DLC. Looks more like a Stardew Valley life sim again. Another farming simulator, which, yeah, I think I said like 2 streams ago that they seem to announce like a lot of farming sims. So, yeah, I guess so. Easy, I guess it's like a better sell on a Switch. Do you play any like farming sims or life sims, Bobby?
Does Animal Crossing count as a life sim?
No, let's move on.
Nope.
Okay. Anyways. All right, War Group 2 from looks like a sort of isometric tactics game, which okay, I'm not interested. Okay. So this game I want to talk about, the game that just got that announced afterwards, Dave the Diver. I bought it on Steam. I've been playing it on my Steam Deck, and that game is surprisingly pretty addicting in a way.
Oh
And
yeah.
and also like very unique. Yeah. So you play it as this overweight guy. Well, I don't, yeah, overweight guy who has to go diving in like this like pond or like lake that always changes like its landscape every day. And you have to like dive and hunt for fish and also solve like the mer people's issues. and then at night you have to manage a sushi restaurant using the fish that you caught.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like a game that has like a lot of random things going on. Like it's not just like you dive for fish and go through the campaign, but also you do farming, you do a rhythm game. What else? I think you also do like a racing game too, and there's like also boss fights. So yeah, there's a bunch of like random stuff going on in this game. And it's pretty good. It's like yeah, surprisingly good and surprisingly unique. And considering it's from Nexon, and Nexon is usually like the South Korean company that's like known for like aggr for it's known for like having aggressive microtransactions in a lot
Ooh.
of their games. So having Dave the Diver be like just wildly different and unique and like not having any sort of like microtransactions. Yeah, it's like sort of a left field type of game, which is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. So on Steam it has like a 52,236 overwhelmingly positive reviews. And when it came out, it was like a lot of people loved it. It was on early access for like a year or two, too.
I see.
So yeah. And according to the reviews on Dave Diver, it's just a bunch of jokes uh regarding a certain submarine incident in the real world.
Oh
So
shoot.
yeah, okay. I guess so. Okay. A better value than Ocean Gate tickets. Okay.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh God.
I'm enjoying this with my Logitech controller. Whatever. Let's move on. All right, so Mario Kart Deluxe, the final DLC pack, which I bought the expansion pack, but I have not played any of the new racing tracks yet
Oh,
because I've
I've
been
been
like
having a lot
focusing
of
on
fun
playing other
with
games.
it.
Yeah. Um, wow, it has like the I was surprised the game never had Diddy Kong until now.
Yeah, especially
So
because Diddy Kong used to have his own racing game. I remember seeing my uncle playing Diddy Kong Racing on my cousin's Nintendo 64.
yeah, yeah, I have that game too. Yeah, and they showcased like Diddy Kong is from Mario Kart Double Dash. Like he was introducing that,
I see.
even though he had his own game. Like, yeah, that's what the trailer showed. But okay, I guess so. I guess this is the Diddy Kong racing game that like if you can't get the rights or can't get the remaster remake for Diddy Kong Racing, I guess just put him in Mario Kart 8.
Wait, was Diddy
Mm,
Kong Racing made by Rare?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe that's
But Nintendo
why.
owns the rights, and I think Microsoft they're fine with like Nintendo. Like they even like allow like Xbox like a GoldenEye 007 is on Xbox, and then the game is also on Nintendo Switch Online.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So
I
I'm
see.
guessing if Nintendo really wants Diddy Kong Racing like a remaster or a remake, I think Microsoft would be fine with that.
Yeah, I
'Cause,
know
yeah,
they seem to get along pretty well.
yeah. So let's see. Oh yeah, they also announced Funky Kong, and like I saw a Twitter post from IGN. I'm not calling it X. I'm calling it Twitter. So I call it a Twitter post um that shows that has them like they took the Mario Kart 8 box art and they put like introducing Funky Kong.
Uh-huh.
Like the Mario like the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze re-release for Switch. Um so yeah. Let's see, when does it come out? Wait, it came out today? It came out like 2 days ago?
It's coming out this holiday, Wave 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
probably by the time Christmas rolls around, I'll be like playing racing my sister in that game or the
Mm-hmm.
DLC.
Yeah. Huh, they also announced Peachette too. I just remembered that. Though
And
Peachette, not Bowsette. Oh wait, Bowser
Bowsette.
is a fan. Oh yeah, yeah. Bowser is a fan made character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure she's too yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So they've been porting like, or not porting, but like using some of the characters from Mario Kart Tour. I never played that game because I'm not like too big into the heavy microtransactions. Have you played the Mario Kart game on phones? Or no?
Yeah, I don't want to play it for that reason, but I like the courses that they brought over to the DLC.
Hmm. It's yeah. Like I think the game also has like costumes for the racers too, which I feel they yeah, like I feel that if they have them for the racers, why not just also introduce those costumes into Mario Kart 8, essentially?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think they have costumes. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Otherwise, maybe they can do it in like Mario Kart 9 or something. But yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Among Us. You play Among Us?
I used
Because I don't.
to.
Yeah. I'm not big into Among Us. I know it took off during the pandemic, but I remember playing like like those type of multiplayer whodunit games like in Gary's mod,
Yeah.
and I hated it. I really did not like it. Like I am like I do not trust the people who play it because some of them are like kind of yeah, dumb.
I see.
Well, yeah, because like sometimes like when I'm like not I'm not like the murderer, the people treat me like yeah, I'm the murderer. And then after that they're like, "Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you're not." Like after they killed me. So, whatever.
I see.
So yeah, for Among Us, it's basically a new map uh set on a mushroom island, which okay.
Yeah, that's. I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Among Us, have you heard about the Unity engine controversy?
Nope, I haven't kept up with that.
Oh, well, the Unity engine, well, a company for Unity, like a lot of games use it, like including Among Us and like Pokemon Go and such.
Uh huh.
Like yeah, it's a very versatile engine. Even and it's pretty open too. Like even like anyone could use that engine, including like including the VGDA. Like that time we used the Unity engine to to make those two student games.
I see.
So, so yeah, recently, like I think a couple days ago, there was a huge controversy where Unity announced like for every download, like starting next year, uh, the developers had to pay the Unity like 25 cents a download for like for install. Like any customer who installs the game,
Uh huh.
yeah, the developer has to pay the the engine studio like a quarter. Like up to $200,000 a month,
Oh boy.
which yeah, a lot of people do not like that. Oh, it's mainly the indie developers who's going to take a massive hit. Like, well, not just indie developers, but also like smaller studios too. Like, you heard about this game called Rust?
I've heard of it, but I'm not too
Yeah.
familiar with it.
Well, yeah, it's like it's also one of the largest games on Steam, and they also use Unity. Um, but the thing is, like these studios, they're not really huge, and they need like all the money. Like, they need like the pay cut is gonna financially ruin them in a way too. So like a Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, they can afford the hit, but
Uh
not like
huh.
these smaller developers. That's why it's a huge blowback. It's a huge controversy, including Among Us studio Innersloth, who talked about on their Twitter, saying like they might have to move the game to like Unreal Engine
I
just to
see.
get away from Unity. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see the Twitter page. Let's see what I have to say about it, if I recall. Here we go. We use Unity to make our games. This would harm not only us, but fellow game studios of all budgets and sizes. If this goes through, we delay content and features our players actually want to pull out a game elsewhere, as others are also considering. But many developers won't have the time or means to do the same. Stop it. WTF. So yeah, it really sucks for the developers. So I hope Unity like just cancels it. So yeah,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
yeah, yeah. So okay, that was enough off topic stuff. Let's see what else they announced after that. Oh, Pokemon expansion pack is out. Super Mario Wonder coming out on October 20th. I expected them to like talk more about Super Mario Brothers Wonder in this direct, but I was surprised that they didn't. Or maybe they're
That's
saving that for like a future like save. Or maybe they already talked about it enough too.
yeah, because they
Um,
did a separate direct for Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
yeah, okay. I'm surprised they didn't like bring in the new Mario voice actor, like introduce them.
Yeah, because
Like,
like yeah, so I've been following what's been happening with how Charles Martinet is retiring and he's gonna become a Mario ambassador. I thought Nintendo they were gonna do sort of like what they did when Reggie Fils-Aimé retired, where he's like, "Oh yeah, here's my replacement, Doug Bowser." But what they did instead was basically, I mean, Shigeru Miyamoto and Martinet they put out this video. It's just essentially looking back on good times and saying, essentially, what I got out of it is them saying, "Oh, we still like to work together. Don't worry, it's not like a Hideo Kojima and David Hayter situation where the two
mhm,
don't like each other. Like it's there's
mhm.
they still have a good working relationship and so forth."
Yeah. I think for Kojima was mainly like Kojima was more so focused on the creative side, like and Kojima really loves movies.
Yes,
So
yes.
given any chance he wants to work with like an actual Hollywood actor.
Uh huh.
So yeah. And I guess and if I recall, he did intended to like he wanted like the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake to have a different voice actor, but I think at that time that he didn't. I think Konami or the team convinced him to like to stick with the same actor from Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2
Yeah, I
because
heard
guess who yeah,
I heard
save
at
costs or
some
something. Yeah.
point Kojima wanted like Kurt Russell apparently to play Snake. And that
Yeah.
I heard David Hayter say he actually had to re-audition for Metal Gear Solid 3 to play Snake.
Mhm. Yeah, which is like I kind of see Kojima's reasoning, but also is like if you if you get a Hollywood actor, you're gonna have to like work around the schedule all the time, essentially.
Yeah,
And
and
then like all these like I remember like say Call of Duty would usually get Hollywood actors for the characters, but then
yeah,
eventually like in later games, they just get like actual voice actors.
I see.
They just get like regular voice actors, not normal Hollywood actors. Because yeah,
Yeah,
but for Kojima, um,
and the way
yeah,
David Hayter plays Snake, like to me, it's so iconic. Like he's one of those
yeah,
actors where it's hard for me to imagine anybody else like taking the reins.
yeah,
So
yeah,
especially if Hayter's up for still doing it, it just kind of baffles me as to why Kojima, especially because like he's become like Hayter has just his voice has just become so iconic and like people like even
yeah.
like joke around with him that I'm almost just kind of thinking from like a brand like management perspective, it's like why would you like say no to David
Mhm.
Hayter?
Yeah, like yeah, basically, yeah, the performance is very much tied to the character, and if you're just gonna like change up the voice like dramatically, then why like okay, nah, it's gonna be like kind of jarring to like hear the new voice. Like, and it happened before with like other games, like Hitman, the the Hitman series, right?
Familiar with it, but I don't know too much
Yeah.
about the voice
So
acting.
so yeah, so the voice actor for the playable character Agent 47, like I think around uh Hitman Absolution, they were gonna cast like a new voice actor, but then a lot of the fans got mad
Uh huh.
because the original voice actor has been with the series since like the very first game, like for about like maybe more than 10 years or so. So having
Yeah.
like a new actor trying to like either replicate or just do a new voice, it's just gonna sound really off. Plus, like, oh yeah, why even do that when like it only makes sense to change the voice actors if the voice actors like the voice is getting changed too. Like
Yeah, or if they want to
because they're getting
retire.
older or they have like health issues or yeah, all that.
Hmm.
Like I don't mind. That makes perfect sense. But if you're just changing the voice actor just for a business reason, then or just like a real creative reason like Kojima, then like nah, don't.
Yeah, I
No.
agree.
Yeah. So yeah, for Charles Martinet, I don't know. I mean, how old is he anyway? It's nothing on his performance, but let's see. Oh, he's 67. Well, I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe Nintendo's like looking further ahead and just like, wow. So his last game was Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Like
it's
that was
kind
his
of funny
final
to think about.
performance. Like it's not like what I mean,
I
why not just do it for Super Mario Wonder or
I
something?
mean, I don't
But
know. I
whatever.
mean, they didn't really go into specifics. I'm just thinking if this is a like a personal decision on
Yeah.
Martinez's part, then I respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Nintendo did like AI voice? Like they just paid Charles Martinet like they pay him and his family like a lifetime rights to it. Kind of like what Disney did to like James Earl Jones to pay for his voice to use for Darth Vader. Like
Yeah. Um
yeah, that's what they did for the Obi-Wan TV show. Like the Darth Vader voice in there was just an AI voice. But the James
yeah.
Earl the way is right. So why not just do the same thing for Charles Martinet? That or Nintendo is like the very I mean, yeah, I don't think Nintendo is ever going to do that. I think they're more like, yeah, always on the creative side. So
Yeah.
AI, using AI seems kind of cheating in a way.
It's the kind of thing where for me it's like I would have to hear it first.
Yeah. Like I was surprised that people actually pointed out the voices are different. I did not realize that like when I first saw the trailer. And then much like I think a week later, like they announced that news, and I was like, oh wait, that's a new voice in the game?
Yeah, that's how I thought too. I didn't think that was a new voice until people got suspicious, and then Nintendo
Yeah,
flat out said, no, Martinet is not involved in Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
yeah. Which is pretty surprising. Okay. Let's move on to the final game they announced for the Direct.
Yes.
The saving the best for last type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, would you consider this a remaster or a remake?
That's kind of hard to say. It's sort of a mix between the two because they're not like changing the way it's played, but it's the graphics are certainly updated. Like it's more of an update compared to what they did with the Pikmin games, and you're talking about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Yeah. I'm talking about Paper Mario. Well, let's see what Wikipedia has to say about the game. Uh, let's see if they consider it a remake or a remaster.
I mean, because
Uh,
like I've actually had a really hard time like
uh,
considering things like Mario versus Donkey Kong or Super Mario
mm,
RPG, like
yeah,
remakes, remasters. I think for Mario versus Donkey Kong, Nintendo used the word reignite. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because they're not like they didn't really change up the way the game is played, but the graphics are
yeah,
definitely an evolution. It's not like the Metal Gear HD collection where it looks like they just kind of like
what
increased
it
like
is,
the
yeah.
resolution. Like it looks like they went in and like updated a lot of the graphics.
Yeah, a lot of graphics. They have like reflections on the floor for this. Yeah, like Wikipedia, they call it a remake for Paper Mario, and I'm just gonna call it Mario 2.
Yeah, that's what it was
Um,
called originally, like back when it was coming out at E3 2004. They just called it Paper Mario 2.
yeah. So, yeah, basically, yeah, it does. Just graphically alone, it definitely looks like a remake. Like just in about everything, while still keeping the art direction like very, very similar. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like people who's been you know what I feeling like, oh yeah, you think about a nostalgic game and you think about it differently than like when you actually look at it for real. Like between like how you see a classic game in your mind compared to like how you see it on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so for this game it's like I know it's a remake, but like looking at it, it gives me like nostalgic vibes in a way.
Yeah, it's
And then
still
I look
very
at the game,
recognizable. It really, yeah,
yeah,
it
and then I
does.
look at the game again on like game for GameCube, like a gameplay footage,
Mm-hmm.
and I realize like, wait a minute, this game looks way too old or something.
Yeah, it's that like very fascinating thing where it's like the graphics are definitely updated, but it's still like very recognizable. Like watching the opening cutscenes or like when Mario goes to Rogueport, it's like I feel like I'm 8 years old again. It really does. Like it's not that kind of thing. Because I used to be a very like sensitive to like when or if like a book gets adapted to a movie where it's like, wait, that's not in the original. But for me, this is like again, I feel like I'm like, 8 years old again, even though
Yeah.
it clearly looks updated.
Yeah, there was a comparison video of it too, from the Game Explain channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, the differences are like very night and day. They
Mm-hmm.
You can look it up yourself too. Like even the water is like the water in the remake is very like more was it more visually designed than say the classic game. Or like the remake looks very closer to being like looks like everything's made out of paper
Yeah,
than the classic. Yeah.
I see.
So what's the previous Paper Mario game that came before it? Paper Mario
Did the
Color
Switch have
something?
its own Paper Mario game? I can't remember.
Color Splash? Was that a Wii U or a yeah, it was a Wii U game. Oh yeah, the game was followed by oh yeah, Origami King. That was a Switch game.
Oh yeah.
Then Intelligent Systems. Okay. Um let's see. Okay. So I can see why they want to do a remake of like because a lot of people a lot of fans they consider Paper Mario 2 one of the best Paper Mario games. And maybe one of the best Paper Mario oh no, just one of the best Mario RPGs too. So yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I remember I had a good time playing with that with my sister back when it first came out. That was our first Paper Mario game.
Yeah,
Cause
mine was the one on N64, but I never beaten it because
same
I
here.
got
I
to the
didn't beat
castle point.
Thousand Year Door either.
Yeah, I think I bought Thousand Year Door like used at GameStop because I heard it was so good.
Uh huh.
But then I tried playing it, and then I got kind of bored and I stopped playing it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I know, I'm bad, I'm bad. Um, so yeah, the game is like a really surprising announcement because of, huh. And but other than like updating the graphics, I wonder what else they also put into the game too. Like what other new stuff are there?
Yeah,
Um,
as
let me
somebody
go.
that didn't beat the game, I can't quite say, aside from the updated graphics, what other changes they made. So I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure if it's just essentially a straightforward reimagining or if they did
hmm
put in new stuff.
Yeah. They said that the game is coming out next year, so yeah, only next year. So maybe I kind of guess it's coming out maybe either spring or summer. But yeah.
Yeah, because if it was coming out later, they wouldn't have even talked about it in the direct.
Mhm. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, I saw on Twitter, someone like compared like a Bowser dialogue to like from the GameCube to the remake.
Uh-huh.
Like Bowser in the GameCube used the word airhead, and then in the remake, the dialogue got changed to lunkhead.
I guess because Airhead is
So
considered too old school.
or to what's it called? Too offensive in a way, I guess. or something like that. I don't know.
I don't
I don't know
know.
why they
I
would
mean,
change it,
I
but
don't use like lingo like that myself.
yeah, that it's strange, but whatever. It's like dialogue cues. Um, but yeah, it's like the game. Just look at the GameCube version and the remake. It's just like one hand, it looks fine back then, but on the other hand, it looks way better now. Like, are
Yeah.
you looking at the comparison video or yeah? So yeah, I don't have much to say about it other than like it's more Paper Mario. Though like it's a good thing they remake this game, but it's also like why not make another new Paper Mario game? Like not something that's a remake.
Yeah, because I think that's why I feel like there are some people who, didn't really like this direct much just because, a lot of the announcements are like, reimaginings, or if there are like kind of new announcements,
Hmm.
again, kind of goes into like reimaginings. So, but on the other hand, it's like it would give my sister and I the chance to beat the Thousand Year Door because we didn't get super. I mean, I think we're like halfway, but there are certainly characters we didn't meet. And that end scene, I don't know if it's in the original game where like Peach is talking to that HAL 9000S computer. Like, I didn't come across that in as far as I've gotten to in the Thousand Year Door.
Hmm. Yeah. Though I think like I said before about remakes, they're doing remakes of some games because I think it's easier to design just from a gameplay standpoint.
Yeah,
Graphically, graphically, of course, you gotta like really keep in mind about the original while also trying to retain that same art direction. But for like just the gameplay design, like oh yeah, the character placements, items, maybe the stats and all that, like yeah, it saves so much time in a way, I guess. Unless you're
yeah,
doing like way more stuff to it or like making it easier or like having a difficulty mode for like kids or something, yeah. Um, hmm. So yeah, that's like two Mario RPGs coming out. Like one's coming out this year and then there's another one's coming out like next year.
yeah.
Like, are they
And
really gonna push out like a new Mario RPG every year or something or what?
yeah, that's a lot.
Like,
And for me, it would also kind of give, I think it will also give newcomers like the opportunity to like, play it. Like, so of course, Super Mario RPG, I wasn't even around for like when the Super Nintendo first came out. But I technically did have an opportunity to play it, during the Wii days when it was on the Wii Shop channel. But that was back when I was in like elementary school, so I would have to go and ask my parents, can I buy a Wii Points card to like, play this game? So didn't really have the opportunity. But since I did play, parts of like Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi games in the past, so for me, it would kind of give me a chance to finish Paper Mario and like give me a chance to introduce myself to Super Mario RPG. So I guess that's like, to sort of, think about it from like a perspective where I would be interested in buying these games. That's where I'm coming from myself.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, which is why like sometimes people give a hard time to ports and remakes, but also on the other hand, it gives like more people a chance to like try out these games, try like including the games that people like to that the fans like to put on a pedestal, like to always talk positively about.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I don't mind it
Mm-hmm.
because yeah. It gives and as long as the remakes don't like deviate too much, then from like the original material, then yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, Thousand Year Door. I doubt they're gonna do like color splash or stickers and so whatever. Huh. Though, so why not? I know the studio shut down, but why not do like Mario and Luigi? Those RPG type of games too.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like
can
why don't they
imagine
do like a
Nintendo
remake?
they'll give it to another developer. I know Alpha Dream has, closed down. I did a video on that years ago,
Yeah.
but I could see them like giving it to another developer. I mean, it won't,
Hmm.
though. I mean, there'll be changes, but just the fact that they made it. Like, do you think they might even give Intelligent Systems a Mario and Luigi game someday?
One hand, I hope so. Other hand, I'm fine because it's not. I want intelligent systems to just focus on their own like stuff, or like yeah, Paper Mario or Mario Rio or Fire Emblem and such. Yeah,
Yeah,
uh, it's fine. It's not like a huge like. I still want more Mario and Luigi games, but if we, well, I'm more fine if we just get like a port or a remake. Just something for like new developers to like look at the system and see how it works and or what works, what didn't work. But otherwise, eh, maybe, yeah. But maybe another studio for that. Like maybe someone that the Nintendo can trust. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I need water and I'm like done talking. So uh, so so um so out of this direct, Bobby, which game surprised you the most? Which one have you changed your mind on? Like the game that you thought like, oh, I'm not interested in it before, but now I'm interested. Or maybe vice versa.
Well, the
Or what
game
game, yeah, yeah. Or what game are you planning to like maybe buy in the immediate future? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think the one that surprised me the most by far would definitely be Another Code, Recollection. I mean, I don't intend to play it myself because I don't think I would be good at a sort of game like that. But just because I remember the first time I heard of Another Code R, because the big thing about Another Code R is it was not released in North America previously. I think it was only
Oh,
released in Japan and Europe. So it
oh.
surprised me just because I feel like I'm sure the Another Code games are really amazing, but I wouldn't call them like a really like famous franchise. Like,
Hmm.
I mostly
More of
know
a
about that
niche, yeah.
game because I remember there was somebody on YouTube who wanted a whole bunch of like games that Nintendo he wanted them to bring over to North America, and he was like
Hmm.
holding out like money, saying, here's money I'll pay for the Last Story, the original Xenoblade, Pandora's Tower, Disaster Day of Crisis, Another Code R, and he was like, we got the first game in North America, so I'd love for them to bring the sequel. So I remember that video from years ago, and just thinking, wow. So, and it does give me hope that if they're gonna bring Another Code R to North America, maybe this will also give hope for other games that
Hmm.
were released, especially if they were released in like Japan and Europe, if they could bring more of those games to North America. So I hope they bring games like Doshin the Giant or Disaster Day of Crisis. And I think they did that for Another Code R because that game was released in Europe, so there was already exists a English translation. Whereas if it's something like a Mother 3 or Blades and Love, where those two games were only released in Japan, that's something where
Hmm.
it's going to take a lot more kind of investment and resources because they would have to like come up with like translate those games into English. I know that fan translations for both those games exist, but if Nintendo really, if they're thinking if we're going to localize these games, we want to do it ourselves, then that's going to take a lot more like investment to do so. But if it's a game where there already exists, a version in like Europe or Australia, then that's like, oh, okay, then it's easier to bring over to North America.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like I've noticed that they've been doing remakes or remasters, maybe remakes, yeah, of like these classic Japanese horror games. I can't think of one of it. Was it Clock Tower, I think? But that wasn't in the Nintendo Direct game. That was yeah, Clock Tower, Japanese horror game, and also this visual novel game that's also remake from I think Square Enix. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that came out like 2, 3 months ago. So it's really interesting to have like doing remakes or remasters of like these really niche mystery horror or just mystery games in general from Japan. And it gives like it gives like more like it expands to a wider audience because like maybe more people now are like into more unique stories in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, like yeah, I don't mind it. It's in fact I encourage it
Mm-hmm.
because it gives way more people a chance to try it out for themselves.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. So yeah, and as far as like if I change my mind on games, not really. I mean, most of the games that they announced where it's like, oh, I'm just kind of like, oh, it's, cool to see like Super Mario RPG again
mhm,
or getting more information on Princess Peach. Actually, come to think of Princess Peach Showtime might be the closest game where I went from being hesitant to maybe I'd give it a try because I do like this
mhm,
idea where it's like this platformer game where Peach can change into different outfits and there's like a sword fighting Peach or like Detective Peach. So that might be the
mhm,
closest I went from like a game where it's like, I don't know, to maybe I'd give this a try.
mhm. Yeah. So for the Princess Peach game, like, do you plan to like buy it on release day, or is it just more so of like continue waiting and see?
It's the thing where it's like I'm not like super hyped to play it. Like, it's not
Yeah.
really a game where I'd go day one, I must have it like it's WarioWare
Mhm.
Move It. But it's the kind of game where like maybe I'd, give it a shot. It's kind of how I feel about what was that game with the sushi you mentioned earlier?
Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver, yeah, because when I saw the gameplay of that, I was thinking, I don't know. I mean, it's not a day one, but if given the opportunity, I would try it out.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, for the Princess Peach game, yeah, I can't wait until like to show off more footage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe really delve deep into like the design, like yeah, just how the game looks beyond just like showing me the sizzle reel and all that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. Was that all the questions that you answered? Okay. We'll see what else they show. So yeah, for the games that like I was surprised about, I was surprised to like okay, I didn't like tune into the direct like live stream. I just like kind of went on Twitter and I saw like Tomb Raider and I realized like, oh yeah, the direct was happening. So I just decided to tune in. But yeah, Tomb Raider for me was like the big announcement for me, or just like the surprise. Like I know I know Paper Mario was like the best for last and all that, but um considering there's like this tends to be like remakes of like very popular games, I'd say it almost doesn't surprise me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Um let's see, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Though I think for another game I was surprised about, or just another announcement I was surprised about. I think it was just like the amiibos, like especially the Sora amiibo, because like I was surprised that Disney allowed a Mickey Mouse imagery on on the amiibo. Like I
Yeah.
was not expecting that. I was not expecting Sora to finally get an amiibo. Like at least maybe at most like him in the game, but not like as an amiibo. So I might get that because I grew up playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was also surprised by Spy X Family that getting a game too. Even though I'm not too excited about it, but I am surprised that they're getting one.
Yeah.
So
Were you
yeah,
talking about like I noticed in the direct it was called Spy X? Was it Anya or something like that? Is that the
yeah.
same
Well,
thing?
that's what the game is called, but I'm considering it like Spy X Family because it's just easier. It's like it's easier for the audience to like yeah know what it's from.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay, I see. I
just
got
calling it
you.
Spy X Anya Operation Memories is like yeah, I know we get to only play as here, but also it's based on the show and the manga, so yeah. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Mhm, yeah. So I think out of the games that maybe you want to buy at some point, like maybe like a list of games that's like from top to least. At top, it might be Tomb Raider, even
Uh-huh.
though maybe the controls might not be for me, but I also get to re-experience the game again. Then second would be like Paper Mario, the
Uh-huh.
Thousand Year Door. Third would be Super Mario RPG, and fourth would be Princess Peach. Because Princess Peach it looks very unique in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and very different than the other Mario games. But like compared to like say other side scroller platformers, action games, it doesn't look too unique, but just the premise alone, sure, why not? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, that's my whole take on the direct so far. Oh yeah.
Yeah. As
So how
for
would you rate it, Bobby? Like out of 10.
Probably a 7. I did notice a YouTuber described the direct as mid. I can't say mid because there were announcements I like, but this is not one of those directs where I was like jumping up and down. Like I think in comparison, the last direct we talked about was the one that was like, really mind-blowing and fun. This is just
Yeah.
kind of like, like heard a couple
By the numbers in a
updates
way.
and one or two surprises, but it's not really one that I'm like, when it was over I was like super super happy. I just kind of nodded in like approval. So it's like
Yeah.
it's okay. It's decent.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way too, because yeah, like I said, like oh yeah, them doing remakes of ports, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I
Uh,
guess. Why not?
yeah, I mean if this was like an E3 direct, I would have been much more disappointed, but since this is
If they actually
September, it's
shown
just
off the Nintendo Switch 2, like the next system, like have you heard about the rumor that they showed off the system to select people at Gamescom?
yeah, I keep hearing rumors about the Switch too, so it's kind of a sign to me that like not that Nintendo has confirmed it, but it's a sign that they're working on something, and it's something that I'm excited for. But I wasn't expecting them to like show off a Switch 2 because I remember when
Yeah,
they when they finally announced the Switch, I still remember Nintendo put out this tweet that was like coming soon. We got like something behind the curtain, and they literally showed a
yeah,
picture of like Mario peeking behind the curtains. So
yeah.
they're gonna save that for a completely separate event. I don't even think they'll do the thing like they did with Paper Mario, where it's like oh by the way, because something that big. It needs its own event. Like, I mean, I don't know if they
Yeah.
would do what they did with the Switch, where they had like that big event at Tokyo Big Sight, but it's certainly
Mhm.
something they would dedicate an entire event for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially now with like devices now, like especially you know you've seen like news about the upcoming iPhone from Apple?
Yeah, the
Like
15
how
Pro
like
Max. Yeah.
yeah, like how that can play Resident Evil 4 remake and Resident Evil Village and Assassin's Creed Mirage and Death Stranding. Like,
Yeah.
wow, that the phone can do that, like play it like on that device.
Mhm.
That means like Nintendo really needs to play catch up now.
Yeah,
They really
especially
need to catch up to like yeah,
yeah.
especially as Apple yeah doing that now.
Mhm.
So especially like I think those four games can be played on the current gen systems too, for like on PlayStation and Xbox. So yeah,
Yeah.
Nintendo needs to catch up like so really bad because now because like the games they announced are all mainly like smallish type of games like that's either ports or remakes and such
Mhm.
or life sims or farming sims or JRPGs or RPGs I guess. And yeah, so yeah, they really need to I mean, they don't need to be like as powerful as an iPhone, or maybe need to be just as powerful. But yeah, who
But
knows?
it needs to at least be like capable to play those sort of games and not just rely. I mean,
Yeah,
just the fact that there were cloud versions of like Assassin's Creed and Resident Evil games on Switch, it tells me that
yeah,
developers they see a market on the Switch. It's just that the Switch it can't handle playing the games like on the device itself. And even though I mean, some would argue that well, the iPhone 11 Pro that's going to be like $1,000. So I mean, I certainly don't think Nintendo's next console is going to cost $1,000 because that would instantly kill the sales. They'll be in like PlayStation 3, a PS3 situation where it'll take years for that system to get successful. But if it could at least play it like at a competent level, sort of like Doom 2016, then I think that would be really amazing because I do like when third party support comes to the Switch. I mean, that's why I'm excited for like the Metal Gear games or when Mortal Kombat 1 comes out, I'll be playing it on Switch.
Yeah. So, anyways, Mortal Kombat 1 is just released on the Nintendo Switch.
It actually comes out on the 19th, so it's still a
No,
few
no, no,
days
no,
away.
no. For the premium edition,
Oh, okay. Well,
because
I
early
don't really
access and
buy
all that. Yeah,
premium editions. They're too
yeah.
expensive.
But
But
but but yeah, that's the thing. Like, because I'm looking at the graphics right now. I'm looking at the gameplay footage for the game on the Switch.
oh boy.
It doesn't. Uh, I mean, it is the Switch version, but yeah, it looks very low FPS, low settings. Yeah, so it just makes me. And I tried playing Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch, and I was like, so it just looks so bad. I even
Yeah,
tried
it's
playing
like I
Fortnite on the
played it
Switch again.
myself. It plays fine for me, but the graphics like it doesn't look as good as Doom 2016. Maybe it's to
Yeah,
maintain the frame rate, but I feel like, I wish that the Switch version looked, better like in terms of like the textures.
yeah. So basically, like I hope that when Nintendo comes out with the new system, that some of the games will be backwards compatible because like that's what some of the games right now should be. Just especially like for a live service type of game because I don't want to be stuck on like the same on like the previous platform. And with Xbox and PlayStation doing backwards compatibility, Nintendo also should do that too, especially with some of the games being like yeah, live service.
Yeah.
So for single player type of games and such, I don't know. I think I would also appreciate like playing like on a higher fidelity like graphics. Yeah. Like with better FPS and such. Like what PlayStation Xbox did for like taking some of the older games and then just like updating it like increasing the frame rate and such.
Yeah.
So like on the newer system, yeah. So I hope Nintendo does that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't do that.
I mean, yeah, I imagine it'll at least be backwards compatible in the sense that you could, like, literally play the older games because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
and just judging by Nintendo's history and how they like to capitalize on things. So, like, for the NES, the next system was the Super Nintendo, and then
Mhm.
the next system was the Wii U, albeit the Wii U was, it sold terribly,
Yeah.
but they like to bounce off of the previous system, especially if it was wildly successful.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the next Switch, it's kind of like if they sequelize it with like more powerful
Mhm.
like processor and so forth.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't be shocked if it is backwards compatible at the very least, in the sense that you could literally play the older game on the system.
Yeah, but also Nintendo did the like re-releases of the Wii U games like Donkey Kong or Mario Kart 8 or Super Mario Brothers Land. What was it called? Yeah.
New Super
Or
Mario Brothers U.
yeah, that.
Yeah.
Or Captain Toad, yeah, just like taking these Wii U games and re-releasing it, but also adding like a bit more content to it. Like make not a lot of content, but just like a bit more content just to justify the price, the
Yeah.
full $60 price. Yeah. So yeah, I wish for backwards compatibility, but with Nintendo, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they just like take the Nintendo Switch games and then just like re-release it. Yeah, like tell people to buy it again.
Yeah. It's
Ugh,
possible.
yes, yeah. Well, Nintendo, yeah, whatever. All right. So yeah, that's why I also agree with your rating, Bobby, on with this Nintendo Direct being mid.
Well, like I said, I
But
wouldn't call it mid. It's okay because there were at
yeah, it's
least some
okay,
announcements
it's
I like,
fine.
but nothing like
It's
super
also
mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. And now my dogs are barking. So, okay.
All right, so yeah, I
So you want
think
to wrap
so,
this up?
yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. So all right, so yeah, so I hope you guys watching had a good time with us talking about the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, so it was really nice to have you here again, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice to be here, Bobby. Nice for you to bring me back every Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you enjoyed this discussion, please follow me on Twitch. Do you still stream on Twitch, Ross?
No.
Uh
I'm on my laptop now, so my computer is broken. So,
oh,
yeah.
okay. I
It's still
see.
broken. I don't want to fix it yet. Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so if you enjoyed yeah the stream, please follow me on Twitch. And until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby and Ross, and thank you all for watching.